views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
You know the saying, stay hungry, stay humble.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm humble in defeat, and I'm going to remain humble in victory. This is it, right?
Deontay Productions.
I just wanted to put on a great boxing masterclass
BoxingVoice.com.
and also show the sweet science of this lovely sport. Man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
I'm prepared to the best of my capability, and I pray that I get the win. Look at him, I love Mike Tyson, how he came into the game on some different kind of vibe. You know what I mean? It takes a crazy man to want to fight, you know what I mean, day in, day out. It's a hardcore sport, as you said, no silk shoes.
Ain't no other fight in the game can see the boxing voice.
Good morning, TBV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to what is going to be another jam-packed morning edition on a Tuesday morning of the Boxing Voice Radio. Don't forget to use the hashtag TBV podcast, as the podcast is getting hotter and hotter by the day. Today, we have world-renowned trainer Jonathan Banks, trainer of Vladimir Klitschko, one of those descendants from the Krunk Gym, one of the last men to train alongside Emmanuel, the legend Stewart. And, we will have Jonathan Banks on with all that Emmanuel Stewart tutelage to chop it up with him, get into his brain. And if you haven't asked Jonathan Banks a question, you can do so by heading on over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Boxing Voice, where you, the patron, get to ask whatever question you want to our guests. And don't forget, Jonathan Banks is also the trainer of Triple G. Not just Vladimir Klitschko, and not just working alongside Emmanuel Stewart. He was also a fighter, so plenty of questions to ask good old Jonathan Banks. Like I said, one of the last men to soak up that tutelage from Emmanuel Stewart. And we will also have Willie Monroe Jr., El Mongoose, on the show and talk to him as well, see what's going on with him, what's next, and chop it up. Talk some boxing. Looks like later on today at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we will most definitely have Robert Garcia, world-renowned trainer to so many fighters. Short list: Virgil Ortiz, Mikey Garcia, Hector Tanarara. I mean, the list really goes on and on. So those are just three of today's interviews. Definitely, if you want to ask them a question, do not put it in the chat, as that will go ignored. It must come from our Patreon page. We only give our patrons that perk of asking our guests a question on our daily show. So it's Tuesday. Good morning to all. The reason that we are here outside of those wonderful guests that we have set up is because Anthony Joshua has revealed that there are some new negotiations, and he says he's throwing a curveball offer, something to tempt Deontay Wilder not to face Tyson Fury a third time. He says the public wants Wilder to win, and he kind of wants Wilder to win to give the public what they want, and he feels that a massive offer is the way to get Deontay Wilder to look at his contract and find a way out of it to make the undisputed fight happen. And I quote, "We have to throw a curveball in there." Anthony Joshua insisting he could tempt Deontay Wilder into a dream undisputed match for this 2020. Music to my ears. Even if it's bullocks, even if you don't believe it, man, I'm so optimistic. This is music to my ears. So the number to call in, remember, first guest at 9:30, second guest at 10 o'clock. We have Jonathan Banks, trainer of Triple G, and we will have Willie El Mongoose Monroe on the show. Later on tonight, 8 p.m., Robert Garcia, world-renowned trainer. Let me get on out to Indiana's own Gross the Boss.
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
Windows camp, 2 attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and miss, 2 to stand over. Turn up. Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million. And I'm in.
Boxingvoice.com.
Yo. Good morning. Shout out to everybody out there in the TBV universe. Back with another one. Joshua back in the news, man, talking about he got a curveball to throw at Deontay Wilder to possibly get him in the ring in 2020. Yeah, I don't know if I really I don't want to say believe it because that's the wrong word, but do I think it'll go anywhere? Nah, man, I think both guys got to handle their business first, and we all know their rematch clause and the Wilder Fury fight, so we'll see how that plays out. But sounds good from AJ Mills and makes people believe that he's out here really trying to make the fight happen. Good morning, Ness.
Good morning. I don't think it's a good morning. Usually you're optimistic, Mike. Not with AJ. You don't believe him? I mean, look. It seems like someone's listening to the show. Didn't we say this? We've been saying this. You got to make fighters an offer they can't refuse. You got to make the fighters an offer that Al Heyman has to do his job in the sense that it's like, listen, you got to look at this offer. It's astronomical, It's life-changing, It's career-defining. So we could have went into this the normal clout chasing route, but I think, and I continue to say this, after the loss, he understood that it could be all taken away. And then he'd lose it. See, there is no other $100+ million fight for him. Now, I could be wrong, because we didn't expect him to make 65 to 85 million, but even that fight didn't reach 100. Ruiz was alleged to be 9 to 13, even 11, something like that. We're talking about him clearing 100. Well, not clearing in taxes sense, but I mean, purse sense. Like, we think that fight still, if Wilder offered him 50 2 years ago, or they thought it was worth 100 2 years ago, it's got to be worth more now. And I know a lot of that is banking on how well Wilder Fury 2 does. But, we had Sunday show, and I forgot to mention how much promotion they were doing on both networks. I seen Wilder Fury commercials on Fox PBC, and I seen Wilder Fury commercials and constant Wilder Fury talk on ESPN, undercard stream, ESPN main televised fights with Seals and Alvarez. So the promotion is there. It's up to them to do the numbers, but again, is there another fight out there that he could make 100 million? And he being Joshua, is he willing to gamble again on possibly leaving that fight out there? And I think that's why he has a sense of urgency. He's like, well, damn, we never thought Ruiz could do it. If we let another dude walk in here and get us out, we might not be able to get this fight. So let's do it now. If I'm going to lose, I'd rather lose to the top and have a rematch clause. You know what I mean? I think it's just a bigger fight. And I think they're starting to understand the economics of it.
Yeah, that's cool. But Bob Arum and Al Heyman, both guys are very, very astute businessmen. And if both guys go into that fight and whoever, wins, I think Wilder will win. But if Bob Arum goes in there and they have a rematch clause, I don't care what kind of curveball offer Joshua sends Wilder, they would not let Wilder out of that rematch clause, and vice versa for Al Heyman. I don't care what kind of offer AJ sends Fury. Wilder and company will reactivate the rematch clause. So I don't think that this offer will entice or stop that rematch from happening, the third fight that is between Wilder and Fury?
Well, we all questioned AJ. So I think it's only right to question winner or loser of this wanting to do an immediate rematch. Wilder's been on this program and he's discussed how he doesn't feel after this fight Fury would want it. The stars could align. My optimism could be proven to be true. If Wilder gets a 12th round equivalent knockdown where Fury doesn't get up, his parents, his wife, they were already not wanting him to go into this. He already took 2 tune-ups to go into this. So are we really here believing that all of a sudden he's going to want to have an immediate rematch? And we questioned AJ, the unified champ, the guy that defended the belts. So why not question Fury is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I ain't questioning AJ at all. But when it comes to Fury, it's like I think Bob Arum would have final say so over that. We all know why Bob Arum and Top Brain got Fury on their platform. It was to secure the Wilder rematch. That's why Bob Arum them offered Wilder a contract too, try to get him on ESPN. So I think that Bob Arum and ESPN are fully invested in the Wilder fight. And if they want another Wilder fight, I don't know if Fury can just say, no, man, I don't want to do that. No, bro, we gave you a lot of upfront money. It's time to get that money back.
Sure. Mike thinks this is way back in the day. Bob's not that type of guy, you might want to ask Dillian White and Barry Hearn. So what I mean by that is Jarrett Hurd had an immediate rematch. We did not see him take it. He now has no rematch because Williams lost the belts. And let me explain. He had an immediate rematch. He decided to wait to see what he can do with a new trainer. Is he going to stay? Is he going to move up? But his rematch was there. Then after all the dust settled, he said, I am activating it, but Williams lost. No different than what can possibly happen with Fury. You know what I'm saying? You can want it, but not immediately is all I'm saying. You can want it, but not immediately. For these guys, it's still on paper. They feel like, all right, as long as Wilder doesn't lose, I have that fight. And here's another thing. I know I'm rambling, going long. You probably want to go back and forth. Just throw this in there for the mix, right? Here's another thing. What if they say, hey, look, we beat you. Let us go undisputed, and you still have your rematch if I win. If I lose, obviously, you got a rematch with me with no belts. But at the end of the day, he still got the contract. And all the belts can still be back on ESPN, co-promote Fox.
Yeah, I think the Jerry Hurd and Julian Williams argument is kind of not really the same argument, man. Way different levels. The monetary gain for both of those guys are way different. And when you're talking about Top Ring letting, I don't think Top Ring and ESPN, because this is what they are invested in. That's why they put the rematch clause in the contract, because they seen Fury get knocked out. Like, hey, man, we got to get our money back. Like, bro, come on. Get back in that ring, and, bro, we believe in you. I'm saying you got knocked out one time, but get back in there, rematch and do it again. So I just doubt that Top Rank lets that money bypass while AJ and Wilder possibly go do that thing and then possibly can have another rematch. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like Top Rank and Bob Arum are definitely gonna cash in on this Wilder rematch if they lose. When they lose.
Perfect example from my secret helper. Wilder stops Fury. Fury, here's some step aside money and we can go again once I'm undisputed. Why would Fury say no? We're talking about a man who didn't get stopped, got dropped twice, thought he won, but said, let me go get some backup. Let me go get some training. Let me switch up 10 trainers. Come on, bro. Like, to think that he's not going to be open to the possibility of a safe route to undisputed after a loss sounds insane. If I get knocked out by Deontay Wilder and by somehow, some weird miracle, they're still telling me, hey, go lick your wounds, and when I beat Anthony Joshua, you can rematch me for all the... Okay. Why would I want to go 24 rounds with Wilder? Okay. Go ahead. Go fight AJ. I'll be right here. You're kidding me, bro.
Yeah, he already been 12 rounds, and already gonna be another 12, so that's 24 right there. So I doubt he's scared to go 36 if he get caught. You know what I'm saying? He probably just believe it's a shot. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not in my humble opinion. I have no evidence to support my claim, but I just feel like when it comes to that rematch clause, I think Bob Arum and ESPN gonna have a lot of influence on it.
I don't know, man. It seems to me like Wilder has all the influence. Wilder's the A side. It's Wilder versus Fury. They speak of Wilder. It's Wilder's highlight they show. I mean, Fury's just the B side. He's just the other guy, honestly speaking.
That's why they are understood to give the loser a rematch, because they feel like we just got the other guy. Like, we seen what happened to Wilder. We seen the replay that we keep on running. That makes us trigger that memory in our head. So in my opinion, like, he can be the B side all you want to. That B side got a rematch clause.
Yo, the funny thing is that you don't see this from a business standpoint. If I'm Bob and Fury loses this next fight, why in the world won't I want more assets? If you're telling me, yo, my guy can actually go lick his wounds, then we come back and fight for all the belts, financially it makes more sense. It's a bigger fight. The rematch won't ever be as big as the rematch being for undisputed.
And that'll be so far down the road, man. Joshua and Wilder might have 3 fights, bro. It might be a rematch clause in that fight. Now Fury got to wait another year and a half to get back in the ring with Wilder. Bob Arum already waited that out, man. They ain't trying to do that again, man. That's what I'm thinking about business, man. Like, when you got your cash right there in front of you, go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, put it in and cash it out. You don't wait for another year and a half to possibly call a rematch clause after these two guys get done doing what they do. Who knows? Who knows if Wilder or the winner, after they become undisputed, they might have a change of heart. You know what, man? I done climbed the mountaintop. I'm gonna pull me a take me a year off, then come back. So who knows? So like boxing is unpredictable. Life is unpredictable. And if you're Bob Arum, you've been working for this fight for Wilder Fury and doing all this promotion now. Like, it'd be crazy not to have a great fight, then do a rematch, because all the buildup and all the commotion, if it turns out to be like one of those fights that we had last December.
Bro, if Wilder goes in there and knocks this man out the way he's done about 39 or 40 of his past opponents, an immediate rematch makes no financial sense. I'm just saying, but I want to go to the tape.
You said you got business to do. You handle that business. Those questions aren't going to come now about Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury. What is the real likelihood of you fighting any of those guys back end of 2020?
Yo, you heard AJ talking about some, where are they? You ain't hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
Or early 2021?
We've had meetings, so that same meeting with the Usyk's manager, after that we had another meeting potentially to kind of put an offer in place to solidify that fight before they've even had their fight and I've even had my next fight, providing we both win.
Now, let's get something straight here. This is my interpretation of this audio, but it is my opinion and belief that he did not send any offer yet. It's also my opinion that the meeting that he claims to have had is a meeting with his own team, not a meeting with anyone from Wilder's team. And it is my opinion because he said that it was the same day that he met with, did he say Usyk or Pulev?
I believe it was Usyk.
Damn.
Maybe even Pulev. I don't know.
Well, those pictures he posted with Pulev's people and Usyk people, did you see that dude from Saudi? I thought I seen him in a gray suit. So that's my attachment. I'm thinking he's saying, since he had the offer, the dude with the gray suit is the dude from Saudi, from Skill Challenge. You know, maybe they're sitting down with the potential opponents to see if Saudi Arabia is interested in Pulev or Usyk. And since they're there with Skill Challenge, like, hey, what sort of curveball offer could we throw Wilder to come over here and do this big undisputed fight? Because let's be real, Saudi was the one that really changed shit in terms of purses, the end of last year. So we're all assuming because they were invested in AJ, they're going to be wanting to invest in the big fight that is AJ versus Wilder.
I mean, I didn't really recognize the guy in the suit. That if it's him, then yeah. But when it comes to the Usyk fight. I think the Usyk fight over in the Saudi Arabia. I think it. I mean, I guess it makes good sense. You know what I'm saying? If they want it, go ahead.
Yeah, my secret helper just confirmed that the picture does show the Saudi guy there from Skill Challenge, and that's what I'm saying. When you're talking about these curveball offers, again, we'll get to the audio, but he makes it seem like the amount of money is gonna change people's opinion.
That's what he made it seem like. We got to call a curveball to make him and entice him and make him think. So we'll see how that plays out.
Before we go to that audio, how long you think it'll be? Because, Eddie says, yeah, we're going to offer this guy, and then boom, Charlo receives, an offer. Multiple sources confirming that. Farmer and the Javante, you knew that there was some sort of verbal offer there that at least got to Leonard Ellerby. Now we know he sent an offer to Ruiz. So, how many hours do you give it before we see a Coppinger or someone saying, sources say Eddie has sent the curveball offer?
Honestly, I think it happened the week of the fight. I think that's when the news will start coming out. You get more publicity if you leak the news around that time, or maybe even do it January, like around January 25th, like when you do the zone shit on that Thursday. Also, I think there's supposed to be a Wilder Fury press conference on January 25th. It may be possibly down in Miami too, so we'll see how that plays out.
And that's why I don't think it's clout chasing, because I believe the audio is going to say that he feels he needs to get this deal done before they even fight, before he even fights, before they even win or lose. He says, I want to have that deal done, but we'll find out exactly.
That's the same bullshit that they tried last time. Get the deal done before we see what the real pay-per-view number for Wilder and Fury, and then the whole ballpark change. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't offer me what you offered me last time, nigga. The prices went up. You know what I'm saying? I'm a different level star now. You know what I'm saying? So, and Wilder Fury go out here and do 600, 700,000 pay-per-view buys, man, the whole game changed. And seeing what McGregor was able to do this past weekend, being on ESPN Plus, I think these guys might have a good chance of doing upwards of 600,000-700,000.
What did McGregor do?
He did 1.2, but they say with the old model, if they didn't have to use ESPN Plus, it would have been the equivalent to 2 million buys.
What you mean the old model? Like,
that's the wording that
they're blaming ESPN for not selling the normal buy count?
No, it's equivalent to 2 million plus. Like, I guess for all those, because you got to buy ESPN Plus, then buy the app. You know what I'm saying? So I guess in actuality it's 1.2, but if you add up all those fives, I guess it's gonna be like 2 million. I don't know, bro.
That seems weird. Almost seems like he doesn't like the model, and he's like, yo, we would have did better had we not used this. But, I mean, we all know UFC and boxing is two different things, but I'm with you in terms of optimism and hoping that the numbers do well, and understanding that you're correct and the value would change for the fighters. But I think that they already know that. And again, the guy in the gray suit from Skill Challenge being on board, we're talking massive amounts of money. We're using the words curveball. We're using the words tempt. To tempt me has to be something, fucking tempting, bro. So it's going to have to take a boatload of money. And I think that they will project the same way that, because Eddie is not, we give him shit, but he's pretty smart. He projected what he thought Earl and Mikey would do, and he offered them a fair amount to come to the zone on a, guaranteed fight basis in terms of the $8 million a piece purse. Now, maybe that was something Earl didn't think he deserved because he felt like, all right, I'm the A side. But we see that he wasn't bullshitting because he still gave Mikey $7 million for Garcia. So and he was pretty close. He said they would do 400,000. They did 300 and something thousand. So, we can talk shit all we want. These people know the game. That being said, if he can project above Earl's number and be fair in his purse and offer, I'm sure he can project and be fair for the Wilder AJ. Is there an opportunity and a possibility that he doesn't be fair with the first offer? Of course. It's negotiations, right? Mike likes to say, hey, they sent them something. Why didn't he counter? A lot of you guys call in and say, well, they sent something. Why didn't they counter? Well, then it would be up to Wilder and his team to counter. But I think a strong offer could be coming down the windpipe, man.
Yeah, when it comes to Earl and Mikey, man, it's kind of easy to, send them guys a big offer, because you're trying to entice them and trying to bring them over to the platform, and you really don't have a vested interest in anybody. But make no mistake about it, like AJ, Eddie works for AJ. AJ gonna tell Eddie like, hey man, I know y'all you talking about 50-50, but send this offer right here, see what he say, But I don't know, man. Maybe AJ will offer Wilder 50-50, and if that's the case, then I don't see any hiccups of the fight not happening.
I mean, well, we've been hearing that for a long time. That Eddie came out after the first Wilder fight and said, yeah, now we can give him 50-50. And if you're getting 50-50, it doesn't matter. You don't have to wait to see what Fury and Wilder do, right? Because you're getting 50-50. So it's like, why do I care if you did 1 million buys? I'm not going to give you 60-40. I'm going to give you 50-50. So if you did 1 million, all that is telling us that our fight's going to be big. And amen, we picked the right partner, but it's 50-50. So we don't got to wait. We can hammer this down and we could start preparing. We could probably help you with step aside money. How much you think Fury wants? Let's sit down with him or with your team, whatever. Dog, they opening up we got to get off that bullshit, man. It can't just be one side saying they want to send offers, saying they want to do the fight, man. We got to be kind of equal, Right now, we know Wilder and his team are going to say, yo, we focused on Fury. We ain't thinking about AJ. And not only that, Wilder might turn around and say, like, bro, I'm not dealing with them dudes. They be bullshitting. You know what I mean? So it is up to AJ to show that this is a genuine offer,
Yeah, man, but if it's a curveball offer, then, I just think if you guys really, want to make the fight, then a curveball offer is not the word that you use, We're trying to give them equal pay or 50-50, Curveball offer just seems like a lucrative word to try to pull them out of his rematch, But if you're trying to do like get real business, then I think you should follow the tune of your promoter and start talking about 50-50.
I think you misinterpreted curveball. I think curveball is just a phrase for like, an offer that he can't refuse, something to get him to change his mind. I don't think curveball is a negative term. He's saying like it's going to take something out of left field to get him to change his mind, and that's this offer. How are you interpreting curveball?
As them sending an offer that's not 50-50. Simple as that. If you really gonna send an offer that's 50-50, then you can use that verbiage. Like you ain't gotta use the verbiage of curveball. Curveball makes it seem like you're throwing something at me out of nowhere, and at the end it's gonna dive on me. You know what I'm saying? That's what a curveball is. You know what I'm saying?
I think the curveball offer again was meant in the sense that it's gonna get him to change his plans, not literal to the sport of baseball. But let me get to the rest of this audio as I connect Mr. Banks.
For a reason, everyone wants Wilder to win because that's the fight everyone wants to see. So Wilder's got a big right hand, I've got a great left hand. So it's going to be a matchup of a great boxing match, and that's the one that everyone wants to see. So we had a meeting about that. It's a great potential. I heard they have a third fight lined up towards the end of the year, but what we have to do is throw a curveball in there, something that gets Wilder's attention, providing he wins, that he'll think to himself, you know what, even though I do have this rematch clause, I'm going to see how I can manipulate my contract and get out.
You see what I'm saying? None of that changed
Manipulate
your
my
mind?
contract, man. Come on, bruh. We just seen Eddie Hearn have a grandstand. Oh man, now Ruiz, you ain't getting out of this contract. We have a rematch clause. Now you trying to tell the guy who got a rematch clause to try to get out of it. Like when you guys wouldn't let Andy out of his, it's crazy how things change. You know what I'm saying? Like they respected your rematch clause, respect theirs. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you
Like
don't
if
sound
you
like you
had
want this fight, bro.
say what?
You don't sound like you want the fight.
No, I'm just being a realist, bro. Like last year when I was in here, fucking going hard for Eddie Hearn. Like they have a rematch clause. It's up to them to say that they don't want it, and them being top ranked in ESPN in theory. But I'm just of the mindset, man, that business and boxing been like this for a long time, and guys gotta honor their contract. But I could be wrong. But let's go here.
All right. Well, just want to send a big good morning and a huge thank you to Jonathan Banks, world-renowned trainer, live on the program with us this morning. Mr. Banks, before we get into some personal issues, and by that I only mean your fighters. Yeah. I don't want to confuse you. By that I just mean you're stable.
Nah,
But
it's all good.
before we get into all that, I do want to tell you our daily topic today is about Anthony Joshua and this curveball offer that he plans to send Deontay Wilder in hopes that if he's successful with the Fury fight and can get the win, his words are he can get out of that third rematch contract and find a way to do the undisputed. Do you feel that that's even, I guess, possible because of contracts and, legalities?
In reality, well, first of all, normally because of contracts is the reason why things were mandatory and possible. But Andy Ruiz did something that the other very few guys that shocked the world that became heavyweight champion, he done. He went against the grain and said, "Forget that contract I signed and I agreed to," because he knew it was something that the fighter wanted more than just the place where they wanted to fight at. You know, he wanted those titles back, not just the titles. He wanted to beat him. So I think he did something that he could have walked away with $2 million, but instead of because of what he did, he walked away with over 10.
So I just want to, make sure I'm interpreting it right, because me and my co-host, Michael Gross, always have a debate on this, and he feels like you're bound to the contract. And I remember those debates for this particular subject that you're talking about, and I kept saying Andy has power now that he won regardless of that contract. And
That's true. He had the power.
And it sounds like you agreed, and you feel that he was able to get a larger purse because of it?
Because of it, he did. He just maximized what he did. Now, yes, it was a gamble. He could have got taken to court. He would have got sued for everything he was worth. You know, that's the gamble you take when you go against those type of contracts. But when you're dealing with someone who really, really wants to get that back from you, not just the titles back, who want to get that W from you, then it makes Andy's position a lot easier to negotiate.
Now here's the scenario I tried to present to my co-host so that he could buy Anthony Joshua's story. I'm saying, and I know that you picked Wilder for the first fight, so hopefully you still believe in that, even though you're part of Krung Gym. Wink, wink. So I'm thinking if Wilder knocks him out, Fury won't want the immediate rematch because Wilder partially knocked him out and Fury took 2 tune-ups and almost a year off, right? So I don't see why the negotiations between AJ and Wilder won't be able to happen because Fury will still have this contract out there and they could still say, look, after we undispute with AJ, your rematch is still available. Or is that something that wouldn't be possible?
It's like guys on the corner shoot dice, man. If you got a guarantee, you could got a hot hand. Why throw it to your guy just in case he got one? Because you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same situation. It is like how they looking at it in the boxing ring. Like, I got a guaranteed situation over here. You know, so AJ don't know what's going to happen with Wilder and Fury. But he's still offering Wilder a fight. Now, me personally, after the next Fury Wilder fight, the winner, they should go to be undisputed. I think that should happen, but ain't no telling if it will or not.
Do you think, knowing boxing, how you know boxing, the loser is supposed to have a rematch clause? Do you think they will let the winner go and be undisputed, or do you think they will reactivate their rematch clause?
I mean, most fighters are independent contractors. You know what I'm saying? So if a fighter is an independent contractor, they can try to keep everything to themselves that they can. You know what I'm saying? So even if he take 3 years to utilize that rematch clause, he gonna keep saying, no, I want the immediate rematch clause. So if you gotta keep you on the shelf for a long time just to get the rematch clause so you don't fight nobody else, I'm not saying that's what he's gonna do, but I'm saying that wouldn't be far-fetched for something like that to happen.
So, Mr. Banks, man, we want to take it obviously to you now. How would you, I guess, categorize or define your new relationship with Gennady Golovkin? How are things going?
Everything is great. I got no complaints. It's the same thing, man. Trainer, fighter, working together to achieve a common goal, man. Really, it's nothing different. It's not a situation. It's not such a situation that I've never been in that I don't know how to deal with.
Anything about Gennady that I don't know you weren't expecting, either positively or negatively? Maybe you didn't expect him to have such a work ethic, or maybe you didn't expect him not to have a high work ethic. You know.
Well, I already previously knew. I pretty much knew him. You know, I didn't know him in the capacity I know him now, but we always ran in very, very similar circles, dealing with his dealings with the Klitschko brothers and all that. Him being from Kazakhstan, him being going back and forth to Russia, so we always ran into each other. Either seen each other in the airport or seen each other somewhere else. And we talked for a second and just kept going. You know, it's like a mutual respect thing. But everything I'm learning about him now, I mean, I pretty much knew, so nothing surprised him. And I think his work ethic is crazy. He got a great work ethic, and to see the way he works is, to me, is impressive.
Do you feel like? Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask when the last time you and Gennady were in the gym together, and when is the next time can we possibly expect the training camp to start for Gennady's next fight?
We was in the gym together about a week ago, and hopefully, I can't say for sure when it'll start, but hopefully soon, because he's itching to get back in there. He's itching to get back in training camp.
All right. So we got some questions from the people. So we'll go to the. Oh, go ahead, Mike. I
was gonna ask. Now we heard. Now I've been hearing Fury say, "Hey, man, this fight right here with Wilder, I'm going in there to knock him out. He ain't gonna make it past 2 rounds." What kind of new things do you think Sugar Hill has added to Tyson Fury's repertoire?
Wow, that's a tough one. It's kind of difficult to say because Fury has been his own type of guy all his career. You know, he's dangerous. He's dangerous because he always been able to do whatever he wanted to do in the ring. You know, and that's where his danger come in at. Only thing I could think of that Sugar Hill can get him to do more of is stop moving lateral so much and start pushing Deontay Wilder back. That would be the only thing that I can think of that would be different from the first fight. Because he did everything a boxer could do in the first fight. But he didn't back him up. That's one thing. That's the only thing he didn't do. He wasn't keeping Deontay on his heels. Deontay, and I guess, I don't know if it was Deontay's strong will to come forward while he wasn't on his heels, or was it Fury's lateral movement that he just, that's his particular style and the way he wanted to fight type of situation. So I think that would be something to look forward to see whose strategy is gonna prevail. Because in my opinion, for Fury to win, he must be able to back up Deontay and keep him in retreat for at least a couple of rounds or two.
Well, he was able to back him up in the 12th after Deontay knocked him down. He rolled a few shots off the ropes. Boom. Hit Deontay with a good left hook.
You see what I'm saying? So that now you see where it's coming from. And it's coming from the 12th round. So, but he wasn't backing him up the whole fight is what I'm saying. So like you just brought up, the 12th round kept him on his heels. So now you can more so see this strategy happening for Fury if you start backing this guy up.
But don't you think that put Fury in like the line of danger even more, trying to not trying to stay toe to toe, but like when you're trying to sit down on your punches, that opens you up for that big shot that's coming from Wilder. Now, do we think that that's the right strategy to go in there and do? Because he had somebody we tend to forget up until that 9th or 10th round, like Fury was doing pretty good.
He was doing real good. But in my opinion, with the type of fighter Fury is, now you got to keep in mind that Wilder is not punching chest to chest. He's got to punch up to hit this guy in the head. So Fury can very well, he's fast enough to slip a lot of Deontay Wilder's punches. We learned that from the first fight. Now, if he backs Wilder up and keep him on his heels, and the punches Wilder throw, if Fury slips him and keep backing him up, then what you got?
Now, obviously, we hear this phrase a lot, like, let's say we interview you and Javon Hill or Javen Hill wasn't your friend, would you give us the normal answer and say, well, I don't know what he could teach him in one fight? Because, again, I know you picked Wilder, and that could have changed after seeing how well Tyson performed that night, but I'm assuming it didn't, and you're still picking Wilder. So if he wasn't your friend, could you really bring change in one training camp?
I mean, yes, you can. You actually can. It's just your only question is, will the fighter be willing to be all the way dialed into it once the bell rings? Because a lot of times when you get to this level, emotions play a big part in the fight. Your mentality plays a big part in the fight. So it's not you could have a perfect training camp, but if something go down and that bell ring and you just get super nervous and you decide to do something totally different, then sometimes that happens. So I think Tyson adding Sugar Hill made this fight a lot tougher than what it would have been if he hadn't been there. So, but at the same time, you can't walk away from Deontay Wilder's punching power. You can't neglect that because he said it himself best. Everybody else got to be perfect for 12 rounds. You only got to be perfect for 1 second, and that can end the show. And everybody that got to the fight have seen this. The man has a gift of unbelievable punching power.
So what's going on with Vladimir Klitschko? Like every so often we get a tweet. We get like last month we got a tweet with the Fury and Vladimir 2, Joshua and Vladimir 2, Wilder versus Vladimir. Like does Vladimir have any kind of yearning to come back, or is he just out here having fun?
as I talk to him, as he's busy as he could be traveling the globe, doing his other business and stuff. I don't know where it comes from, to be honest. I'm not sure about that one.
Do you see him physically capable of a rematch? You were his trainer. Do you see him still able to bang with these guys?
Yes.
Short and sweet. Well, thank you. Let me go out to the people. We do have a few from them. We got Cisco Promotions. No clue where Cisco's from. Would love to tell you where everyone is from. Those that I do, I will let you know. But Cisco says, in my opinion, Canelo easily outboxed Triple G in the first match, and in the second fight, beat him using what we call Mexican style. What kind of style would you have Triple G fight Canelo if there was a third match to get over the hump?
It's not it's not too much a particular style. I don't foresee. I think the biggest problem with Triple G is him just letting his hands go. It's not about the Mexican his trying to put on the Mexican style. I think it's about him letting his hands go and him coming forward instead of backing up so much. That's my pet peeve. Fighters just backing up just because, So me personally, my goal is to have him coming forward and letting his hands go. That's how you win fights.
What was your assessment of that Dervy and Chenko fight? A lot of fight fans felt he lost. I know you. I'm not saying you're on the internet all the time, but you're active. You have a Facebook and all those things, and people message you. So I'm sure you heard the grapevine.
Oh man, I heard a lot, but it was listen. I said before the fight happened, I said this is going to be one of those Ward and Gotti type fights. It's going to be a war. It's going to be a tooth and nail type fight because of the styles. Those two styles is going to make it for a tough fight. And I would hate to be a judge sitting there sitting ringside for a fight like that because it's going to be. I knew it was going to be a tooth and nail fight. But even as far as the camp goes, I had even started doing in the later rounds. I had Triple G picking up his punch stats towards the ending of the round, just to try to win the rounds in the gym, because I knew that that's how the fight was going to turn out, and that's exactly how it turned out.
All right, we got the next one coming from CYP in California. He says, "Is Anthony Joshua a legend?"
I don't know why people use that word so loosely, man. When I was coming up, I mean, they waited, like you got people that waited for Tommy Harris to retire just to even mention him in the legend category. And he was the first one to get multiple titles in multiple divisions. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a word that me personally I don't throw around loosely.
All right.
I think Anthony Joshua is a world champion, and he's definitely a star in the division.
But I mean, don't you got to beat a legend to become a legend? And he did beat Vlad.
I think you got to be retired to be a legend, in my opinion.
Okay. I
think your legendary status, you are retired to get that status.
No problem. We got another one from Matt Bent in New Jersey. Says, are you working with any other top fighters or contenders besides Triple G?
Not at the moment, no.
All right. We have.
Do you think Triple G has any interest in unifying with Jamal Charlo or Demetrius Andre?
I don't see why not. I mean, I don't look at those guys like, oh man, stay away from those guys. I don't see it. But the problem is going to come in when you have the different networks. They got to compete with each other.
Andre is on the same network.
I know that, but the network haven't agreed to that fight. But Charlo's not on that network either, though.
Do you think the networks haven't offered you the Andre fight in fear that it would ruin the Triple G Canelo 3 fight?
That's a possibility because the networks look out for their bottom line. I'm not saying that's the case because I don't know. I haven't personally talked to them. You know, but a lot of people see these fights not happening, and they always blame the fighter. And I just think that there's more to it than that.
All right, we got the next one from Canna in California. Says, can you give any examples of habits you've changed or corrected taking Triple G over from Sanchez?
Well, she had taken them over. Well, habits are hard to break, you know. But only thing I do everything I can to include is for him more movement and more letting his hands go. That's the basis of it all.
Is that Derevyanchenko fight something that you want to see him do again after a few fights? Because I definitely, I'm not trying to insinuate right away. That was tough.
It was a tough fight for both of them. Both of them need to break after that fight. I mean, man, both of them was in the hospital. Just like the almost what Rocky and Apollo Creed. They both went to the hospital after the fight. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I wouldn't mind at all. I mean, it was one of them fights that the fans got their money's worth. It was just one of them tough battles.
All right, we got the next one from Caesar in Las Vegas that says, in the GGG versus Derevyanchenko fight, a lot of people thought GGG arguably lost, including myself. Does GGG have any interest in the rematch to erase the doubts in our minds of who really won that fight, or does he not want those Chenko problems? What has he told you? Because you gave us your opinion of the fight and the fact that you want to see it again, but has he said, damn, coach, I could have done better. I think we need to, like, what has he said?
Well, it's not the fact that I want to see it again. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. You know, but as far as he goes, he says it's a tough fight, and if it need to happen again, he don't have no type of issue with it happening again. You know, but obviously, he's looking forward to something bigger.
All right, that something bigger might be part of the next question from Steve in Chicago. That says, do you believe GGG should rematch Derevyanchenko or Canelo?
Well, Canelo's the one the network wants and he himself wants.
All right. The next one is from Mr. Sims. Don't know where he's from, but as a trainer, do you feel it's your duty to help Triple G's legacy? If so, why is there no interest in unifying with Andre? See, I tell you, the internet believes that no one wants Andre.
Yeah, I don't know why. I haven't seen nothing that I'm like, wow, stay away from this kid. I mean, I think he's a good fighter. Looking at him, young, strong, good fighter. But, you know, that's the name that everybody's throwing out there. But these are questions they need to talk to the network about. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who needs to put the fights together.
All right. Well, here goes another more the same. NO in the NO says, will GGG attempt to unify with Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andre? But you've answered both already. Another one from Texas, Trav FDY says, how does it feel to be Seth Mitchell's daddy? Damn, not even a chuckle?
No idea what that means.
What you mean? You beat him. Not even a chuckle? After you beat him, I think he retired.
I don't know, man. You know, that's I don't know, that's one of them low blows I stay away from, man.
I hear you. See? A good man no matter what, through and through, even in a compliment. All right, we got 7 in California that says, what do you think Sugar Hill can teach Fury within the 8 weeks? But you've already answered that. Which in the 8 weeks they have for camp, and what outcome do you see for Wilder Fury 2? Well, you didn't give us that, so I guess you could answer the second half, which is what's your prediction for Wilder Fury 2? Because you already told us what you thought Hill can add.
I can't give now. Sugar Hill made my prediction mess up because I can't give one now because I don't know how sharp he sharpened Fury's defense. I think Fury's strong attributes, he's able to box, he's able to move, but his defense wasn't as sharp as it should have been on that night. And I think Sugar Hill can increase his defense. Now, regardless of what you feel about Fury or what people think about Wilder, with Fury not getting caught by those two punches and making it outboxing Wilder for 12 rounds, who do you give the fight to without the two knockdowns?
All right, we got the next one from Dueling Rams. He says the consensus amongst boxing fans is that Triple G has been trending downward in his performances. Do you think it's because of the Canelo wars took something out of him, or do you think it's that you've had a limited time with him and he has issues with Sanchez, or are fans just crazy?
I just think people seeing something that's not there. They just trying to find a loophole to say, whatever it is. I don't know. I disagree with the comment about him joining down. I don't pretty much think so.
Oh, wow, this is a good one. But, I mean, based off, I think, your last answer, you might not answer this. But let's see. Carlito in the UK says, hey, Mr. Banks, hope you are good. I'm sure you've seen a lot of things in boxing. However, I wanted to ask if you were in the room when Wilder was KO'd by Vlad. You know that Dillian White's been spreading a rumor that he was in camp, Wilder was in camp, and I think AJ was in camp, or no, Sam Sexton, so that Vlad broke Sam Sexton's nose, and then, Wilder tried to rough up Vlad, and Vlad just knocked him out cold where he was twitching on the floor.
So he asking me to confirm that. What I don't understand is, yes, Dylan White said it, but are you asking my opinion about it or asking me what happened? What is he asking me?
He's asking you, were you there? He said, because, you're the trainer. Were you in the room?
Exactly.
Did you see it happen?
If I was the trainer, wouldn't I know about it? I'm the one who picked Wilder and all the other smart partners to come.
So you're saying it's not true?
It's not true.
Why do you think Dillian White is doing these type of media tours to bash Wilder?
He want to fight him. That's obvious. He's been mandatory like 5 times for the last 2-3 years, man. Like, it makes no sense. I've never seen the mandatory of Dillian White caliber get mandatory, and never get the title shot.
I just don't know. He's good at what he does, because when was he named mandatory until October in Mexico? Last October in Mexico. Like, he's been given title eliminators. He's been given opportunities. But the WBC...
He's been getting title eliminators. And every time he won the title eliminator, they said, well, he's next in line for the WBC.
Well, first it was Dominic Brazil. He won that eliminator with, I think it was Molina in 17, and then his got called in 19. So I don't really see, if that took 2 years, why wouldn't Dillian White's take 2 years?
I don't know. I don't get the whole situation. But the people know that whoever asked me, did Deontay Wilder get knocked out cold and sparring by Vladimir, I just tell them no. That's the truth. It didn't happen.
So why is James Alir Bashir out here saying that it did? Does he got something against Wilder, or is
I don't know. I don't know why. I was in the ring as they were sparring. So I didn't. I didn't catch that one.
I didn't catch that one. All right, we got the next one from Ruin the 504. How's the snack program working for Gennady?
It's okay. I mean, it's not so much. It's more of a nutrition program, a fitness and nutrition program than anything else. It's not. Well, I'm explaining it because I thought it was something different. I thought they had a boxing program up there where, they did a bunch of stuff, but they don't. It's just nutrition. It's a healthy nutrition and fitness program, and I think it's pretty good.
Okay. Next one is from Coyote in the UK. Says, do you think Deontay Wilder is a legend or a Hall of Famer right now? Also, are the rumors of Vladimir dropping Wilder and sparring true? Now, that's definitely different from the last rumor. Now they want to know, did you see him get dropped?
Did he get dropped? Yes, he did.
Ooh-wee, let the tea out. And do you think he's a legend and a Hall of Famer right now?
Who was that?
Deontay Wilder.
Deontay Wilder. Like I say, my opinion, all the legends and Hall of Famers are retired. That's just my opinion.
All right.
I don't consider them my legends still active because, once they career over with, that's when usually you get that type of status.
All right. Almost done. We got Rod in the 870 says, did you know Seth Mitchell was an overrated football player going into the fight when you exposed his chin?
I was really, really busy, and I didn't know too much about him. I just know that he played football. I was in Austria training Vladimir for the first time. That was my first fight I ever trained. So, and then I had to deal with the death of the lady named Stewart. So, I didn't really pay that much attention to a lot of his background. I was just trying to stay focused on everything I had to do because, that was like the hardest 3 months of my life still to this date. That was the hardest thing I ever done when it comes to boxing.
All right. Christian the Magician says, we know Tyson Fury likes to have around 5 trainers to get him ready for a fight. Have you been asked to help out in Fury's camp, or do you believe Sugar Hill can do it by himself?
I haven't been asked to help out. I do believe Sugar Hill can do it by himself. And I read that his cousin Angeli is going to join the camp. But as far as having 5 trainers, I don't know that. But
they got to drip their questions in sarcasm. Boxing God 101 says, hey, Mr. Banks, in the GGG last fight, we saw him face adversity against Derevyanchenko. And many people thought he lost. That fight is there. Is there anything you saw in that fight that you guys have been working on in camp? All right, I guess that's a different twist on that question.
There's a lot of things I saw that we haven't been back to camp as of yet, but it's some things in our fight that we talked about and that we will continue to work on.
All right. And Dominic in Seattle says, does GGG want any smoke from any PBC fighters?
Tell them GGG haven't ran from no fighter, no matter the network.
And we have Rel in New Mexico that says GGG won the first and had a draw in the second fight. How do you make it a unanimous victory in the judges' eyes? I'm assuming he's talking Canelo's fight.
By having Gigi to bring his own judges, which is his left and right hand.
Well, Mr. Banks, that is the last question. If you want to give out any social media for anybody crazy enough not to be following you, man, you can do so at this time. We do want to thank you for your time. We appreciate it. I don't know.
Man,
did you make
pleasure,
it?
Bro.
Did you make it to the West Coast? Because I know we were kind of up in the air. I thought maybe you were going to be.
Yeah, I made it. I made it. I came back, and I'll be going again, like in a few hours.
Okay. Good. Well, we definitely want to get you back on as soon as you and Gennady get anything hammered, and we want to keep doing this regularly as
Just stay in
always.
touch, man. It's my pleasure. Just stay in touch. It's all good.
No problem. Well, thank you, Mr. Banks, and have a blessed day.
Thank you. You do the same.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Jonathan Banks, world-renowned trainer Vladimir Klitschko, now Triple G. And coming out of that Crunk gym, Mike on a takeover as I get the next one.
Yeah, man, big ass shout out to Mr. Banks for coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate it. I'm sure a lot of people out there got some news that they wanted to hear, you know what I'm saying? And we got some stuff debunked too, so but yeah, man, Triple G, I'm glad you guys were asking that Gennady Golovkin and Demetrius Andre question, because that's a question that needs to be asked. And from what Mr. Banks said, man, like Triple G has no fear of fighting Demetrius Andre. You know what I'm saying? He got to leave it on the network. So if we really want that fight, we got to start telling Mr. McCrowski and what's the president name? Forgot his name. Damn it. But him and Eddie Hearn to start making these fights. John Skipper, that's his name, to start making these fights, man. Because I think Triple G and Andre is a fight that, as hardcore and really as a general public, you know what I'm saying, it could possibly lend its ear to like making whichever guy a more suitable opponent for Canelo Alvarez. And Sugar Hill, what kind of things can he teach Fury? I mean, look, he wasn't as bland, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's a short training camp. We know that him trying to teach Fury how to knock out Wilder is going to be a tough uphill battle, but yeah, we'll break it down more. Go ahead, Ness.
All right. Well, welcome back to the audience. We have Willie El Mongoose Monroe Jr. live on the show. Willie Monroe, how are you? First and foremost, thank you for coming on the show, and thank you, for taking out the time to do this interview with us. And Happy New Year, man, brother. How are you?
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, my bad. But no, I'm sorry, I was driving. But thank you guys. Thanks for having me on, and Happy New Year to everyone, too.
So how are you, brother? It's been a while since we talked. How are things going? What's new in El Mongoose's life?
Not much, man. Just staying ready like always. Pushing, waiting for the moment, Not too much is going on, though. Can't lie.
So what is the status? Are you still with Mr. Al Heyman or not?
No, I'm no longer with Arum. I'm a free agent, so.
Whoa, did you use the word hell no?
No, I didn't say hell no. I said I'm still not signed to them.
Oh.
My bad, I'm sorry, I'm driving, but no, I'm not. I said no, I'm not signed to them. I'm a free agent.
And what happened? What caused that? Because obviously last we know you were supposed to fight Jamal Charlo. It was a fight we all wanted. You had an adverse finding, and now you're not with Al, so we're just trying to figure it out.
One second there. I'm sorry, I'm pulling into a hospital on my way from the police. You ready? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just not pulling into a hospital on my way, so. But no, nothing happened. Nothing bad happened. Yes, baby. Nothing bad happened. No one's disappointed on either side. It's not like, something bad happened and, I'm not disappointed. I'm sure they're not disappointed, so.
But why would you sever the relationship, especially with a big fight with Jamal on the line? knowing you could easily get that back in negotiations. Now he's the full WBC champion at 160. Like, wouldn't it be easier to be on that side of the street, so to speak, to get that fight made?
Yeah. When you look at it from the outside, yeah. But like I said, you know what I mean? Like, it was a cool ride. I learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot with Al. I learned a lot with Louis Cubans about the business and about how things work. You know what I mean? And that was it. I'm grateful for that. Like, it's like I said, it's nothing bad, no bad blood on, at least not on my behalf. I don't have anything bad to say about any of them or Charlo. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I understand how this thing works now. So it's, you know.
So, I mean, look, it's not like Al Heyman is the end-all, be-all, especially not at the 160-pound division. Dazn has that on lock. Have you been at least speaking to, Matchroom or at least Golden Boy, who have invested interest in 160? Or can we possibly see you on Dazn? Can you give us any update on when you will be in the ring?
Honestly, I can't. Being a free agent, I'm more or less just enjoying my just being free and like just watching how the pieces fall. You know what I mean? And not sometimes you got to be outside of it to understand it better. You know what I mean? And like when you got to look at it like this, like I always brag and boast about. I wear it as a badge of honor. Like, I never had any true covering. You know what I mean? Coming into this boxing thing, I never had like a big guy behind me, out of the gate like a Al or like a big name promoter to protect me. It was a lot of me. You feel what I'm saying? It was me, selling the tickets, out of my book bag off of my bike to freaking get a fight. It wasn't, somebody putting up money to make sure there was any vested interest in Willie Monroe. So when you get to a certain level, and you don't have that type of covering or those type of relationships, it's hard to function because you got to balance so many different things, and you know what I mean. And being an entrepreneur, so to speak, in this boxing world is tough. So sometimes you got to step. Sometimes you got to start. I'm sorry, guys, that's my car. Sometimes you got to step outside of it and actually learn the nature of it before you jump back in it. And I've had great learning experiences. I've had great learning experiences with Lou DiBella, Artie Palulo, and the Boxino thing. I had that was like one of my favorite experiences in boxing. The PBC, the Fox thing, being able to be signed to someone as prestigious as Al Heyman. Through all of these different relationships, I've learned so much about the business and my place as to where I come from. The people I represent. You know what I mean? The things that come with being connected to Willie Monroe. And I understand that maybe guys like Charlo, like the Canelos, the names that I actually wanted, at one point, those guys have vested interest in them that came along with them way before they became the stars that you know. So I understand the business. I understand it's not a selfish thing. It's me. I just always was hungry and I wanted the best and wanted to fight the best. But once I learned how this business moves, I'm like, hey, look, you got to wait your turn. So obviously these couple of times that I really tried wasn't my time, but it's okay. I'm good. I'm glad that I'm, independent, and I got a chance to be able to step back, look at it from the outside, and learn the business. That's why I said I have no bad relationships, at least not on my behalf. I'm not mad at anyone. I'm not hurt by anything. What I am is I'm grateful that I'm learning the business, and it hasn't shook me to the point to where I'm just like, fuck boxing. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to do it, but I'm learning right now. And I've had nothing but awesome experiences to teach me and get me to where I am right now because, like I alluded to earlier, I never had the covering of a big name or investments or anything when I stepped into the professional boxing world. I was pushing tickets out of my book bag off my bike to make my purse of $1,500 for a freaking 6-round fight. So I didn't have that covering coming out. So I understand the investments that's being made into certain individuals that don't match mine. So I'm learning. It's great.
Were you not offered the re-up? Were you not offered a re-up? Because obviously whenever the contract was over, like were you not offered to re-sign with Al?
It wasn't. It wasn't more of like a offer to re-sign or to say, you know, we don't want nothing to do with each other. It was just more or less like of an understanding of position. You know what I mean? And it's, you just got to respect that. Like, I'm not bigger than this business. I'm no bigger than anyone in this business. I'm no bigger than any titleist in this business. I'm no bigger than any company in this business. So I have to understand, and in my mind, you know, humble myself and say, you know what, it's cool. I get it. I get how, you know, I get how boxing rolls. I get how the business plays. I get it. I'm blessed to make it as far as I'm. If I don't fight another day in my life, I'm truly blessed for everything I've been able to do, bro. Because like a lot of guys in my position would have faltered a long time ago.
How's it going,
So it's
Mr.
nothing
Monroe?
bad.
My name is Michael Gross. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you also, bro.
Hey, looking at the landscape of the boxing in the 160 division, I know you said you haven't really talked to anybody or don't know when you're coming back, but where would you want to go? Whether it be Top Rank, whether it be ESPN, I mean Top Rank or Matchroom, like which one would be a better fit for you?
Honestly, I wouldn't know right now. I've been hearing a lot of good things about all of them. You know what I mean? I'm hearing about the streaming. I'm hearing about, you know, it's big fights back. You know, Al is still doing really well with the Fox fights. You know what I mean? All of the streaming is going good with ESPN. I guess there was like some discrepancy about their streaming app, but I guess it's gotten better. I've heard nothing but good things about all companies, man. Actually, I wish all of them would like kick the politics, man, and let everybody just have a big mosh pit of fights. Honestly, there's no real direction that I'm really looking to go in right now that I know would be a good fit for Willie Monroe. I'm just enjoying not fighting right now for a little bit.
So you don't want to have a fight like for this year?
I mean, coming up in 2020, I would love to fight. You know what I mean? And I'm, like I said, I'm always ready and always in shape.
Like, which quarter you talking about? What quarter you talking about? We gotta hammer some specifics. You getting real vague.
Yeah, man. Cause you saying
you out here.
You love
Listen,
to fight,
I see you.
And then you saying,
I see you on IG dressed up as Michael Jackson. Don't be trying to moonwalk on our questions, champ.
Nah, it's you know, it's a couple different directions, man. Where anything could play out, because the middleweight and the super middleweight divisions are very hot right now. But it's honestly, I'm not trying to like really be like a jerk or anything or like play it smooth, but like I really don't have a personal direction because they all have something to offer in the middleweight division, and like I haven't been watching fights, but you know I am on social media and I see the different middleweights and super middleweights that are up and coming, and they're talking really, really well about them. So I know that across the board in that division is hot. But I mean, I'm a moving piece right now. You know what I mean? And not being tethered to a certain entity to follow a certain walk feels good to me. You know what I mean? And I just don't see you got to forgive my emotion right now. My wife just, you know, I can, you know, she just suffered a miscarriage. So when I told you guys I was on my way to the hospital.
You want to reschedule, man?
Yeah.
You ain't got to do this.
Yeah, man. Like you got more important things.
You should have said. You could have texted me that. We can reschedule. It's nothing.
I did it because
it's really nothing, man. We live every single day, brother. We could do it anytime, man. Go ahead and handle your business, man.
Listen, I just talked to my wife, and like when you guys gave me the interview, and she told me to go ahead and she scheduled her appointment around this time so, you know, she can feel better. And she said it would be better that I took my mind off of what's going on with her and focus my mind back towards boxing. So that's why I said, you know what, let me do the interview so I can take my mind away from what's going on.
On behalf of the Boxing Voice, man, prayers and blessings out to your family, man. Well, I kind of want to like change gears real quick. when you had your adverse finding, Victor Conte came out and kind of distanced himself from the situation. I know he's the leader or guy at Snack. What was your feelings about some of the comments that he came out with?
Honestly, I didn't see a lot of his comments. Like, you know what I mean? My wife advised me and my brother advised me to, like, just stay away from social media. Like, just don't look at it. You know what I mean? Like, you see what's going on. Just don't look at it. So I didn't see any of the comments. You know what I mean? I put all block calls on my phone. And you got to remember, I'm sorry, I'm back in the parking lot. You got to remember that happened, a couple days before my birthday and right before Christmas. So it was a lot of reconstructing I had to do within my inner circle to get through the holidays and then, move on to the next. So I didn't really hear a lot of the comments that Victor Conte put out. I didn't hear too many bad things. The bad things I saw was just like a lot of, the people that were on, sent screenshot and stuff that people were saying like on Instagram and comments. But like, as far as like any of the big guys that were talking bad about me, I really didn't see a lot of it.
Do you see yourself ever working with Snack again?
Like I said, I have no bad qualms. Like, look, things were cleaned up. I fought again. You know what I mean? 5.5 months later, I fought Hugo Centeno. So things were straight. If obviously, if Vic says he wants to work or he has someone he wants me to work with, I'm open for it. If not, that's cool too. I'm not,
All right.
I'm not opposed to either way.
Mr. Monroe, we got a few questions from the public. First one is from Matt Benton, New Jersey, that says, we see the talent. You haven't won when you stepped up. What mental preparation have you incorporated to get you to a higher level to match your skill set?
I probably just got back to source, man. I got back to, to like, deep prayer and meditation, man, and holding myself accountable. You know what I mean? And when like I said, it's business. You know what I mean? And when you come from a place and you try to hold, morale, when you have morale and value, and then you see that business when it has no morale or value as business, you know what I mean? It sort of distorts your freaking way of thinking about things. You know what I mean? It distorts your way of being able to accept certain things. So, yeah, just get my mind together.
All right. Next one is from Cisco Promotion. Says, looking back, have you been able to figure out what specifically caused VADA testing to red flag you?
No, I didn't hear much. All I did was, what did I do? I took a picture of all of the supplements that I had to send in, and everything came back clean. So I guess that's why I was able to fight again.
We got.
Do you hate that like when you fail the test, it was all this bad press, you know what I'm saying, came out, but when you do everything that you need to do to like clear your name, like nobody really, you know what I'm saying, like speaks on it?
Nah, because that's the way of the world. Like, people shout out all your failures and then they whisper all of your accomplishments. So that's just the way the world works. You can't fight that. You know what I mean? How many times have we heard rumors about different stars and came out and it wasn't true about them, but nobody really talked about how it wasn't true. They still talk about everything that was untrue because a lie is more entertaining. So I get it. This is the business I signed up for.
Definitely, man. Maturity is what I hear. CYP in California says, is Anthony Joshua a legend?
I mean, I guess, we live in a new time right now where you can become a legend overnight. So if you're speaking in times of now, I guess so. You know what I mean? As to what we have to match him up against, you know what I mean? But if you do that, you got to put Deontay Wilder up there also.
All right, we got Mr. Sims says Cincinnati, Ohio in the house. Champ, are there any plans to make an offer to Patrick Teixeira to get that WBO belt? Now I went back and told him like that you're not at 54, but I don't know. Is Patrick a guy that you think you could go down for?
I think Patrick was asked to fight me earlier in his career, and they turned me down and fought Curtis Stevens instead. And then Patrick, before that, he was supposed to be in the Boxino tournament. And then he turned that down. Then he turned me down after the Boxino tournament. I think he fought Curtis Stevens. Or he was supposed to fight Curtis Stevens. Did they actually fight? They fought,
They
right?
fought. They fought. Stevens knocked him out.
Yeah, they picked Stevens over fighting me. So see how that went. So not really. I'm not a 54.
All
Not
right.
really looking at Patrick Cecile now.
We got another one from Eno in New Orleans who says, who do you think is the more dangerous fight, Charlo or Andrade, and why?
Who do I think is a better fighter?
No, the more dangerous fight for yourself, Charlo or Andrade, and why?
Oh, Andre for sure, because me and Andre are like, we're both slick southpaws, and we know each other well from the amateurs. Like, you know, we fought on different amateur teams together. We sparred as pros, so he knows me and I know him. You know what I mean, a little. So he'd definitely be a lot more dangerous. And on top of that, lefties don't like fighting other lefties. So.
All right. We have another one from Trav FDY in Texas says, why did you take the counter supplements instead of using snack only? I think that's what Victor Conti came out and said,
Yeah,
like, oh,
he said whatever
he
Willie
wasn't
did.
using our products. He went to GNC.
Exactly.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like, just because you're like, you don't only have to take those supplements. You know what I mean? So it's not like I only have to, use snack supplements. You know what I mean? There are different things. There are different supplements in different health stores like a GNC or Vitamin World that are like, let's say, Vic doesn't make a fish oil. You know what I'm saying? So I use fish oils from other supplement stores. Obviously, a fish oil isn't what caused whatever happened, but what I'm saying is I don't have to necessarily just take snack products. And no, I wasn't taking a snack product when whenever that happened, that whole adverse finding thing happened. So Vic is definitely correct with that.
Did Snack provide the same product that you took and the average finally came from?
No.
Okay.
I still don't know where it came from, personally.
All right. Seven in California says, how does it feel to have your dad back in your corner coaching you like back in your amateur days?
It's cool. It's real. It has a real nostalgic feel. It's stuff that my dad. He came back in and he just said, look, it's things that we used to do that kept you reminded of certain moves and certain ways to see things, and you just don't use them anymore. You know what I mean? He's like, you've gotten comfortable with, with your talent. We got to get back to, working from your mind. So it's been a real great feeling working with my dad and to have family close, because, the missing piece is my grandfather. He passed away some years, back in 2013, 2 years ago. So it caused a split in the connection we had. And now me and my father are like stronger than ever. So it's cool to have my dad back.
Cool. The next one is from Dueling Rams. Numerous snack fighters as of late have looked sluggish and bad in fights. Mikey Garcia, Julian Williams, etc. How much influence did snack have on your training camps in the past?
When I fought, I was with Snack when I fought Gabe Rosado, and I was with Snack when I fought John Thompson. I have nothing bad to say about Snack. That's nothing. I mean, the workout regimen, the supplements, they all made me better. You know, they all made me better. I don't have it. I didn't feel sluggish. You know what I mean? But I think that's independently on each fighter. I think some fighters, they don't want to put in the work. They think I can automatically be associated with this name and work under this and use these snack products and not use them the way I'm supposed to use them, or not, you know, take the training as serious. But just because I'm out here, it'll work. More of a placebo thing, and it's not like that. So no matter how high tech something is, you can't believe in it. You can't stop believing, you know, in your, as far as what you can do. You get what I'm saying?
Kinda. It's more mental.
Yeah, it's more like I think when he says like some guys are looking sluggish, a lot of guys that wear the snack patches aren't actually out there doing the snack workouts, doing the things that go on in camp. They just wear the patches and use the supplements, and they sort of lean on that as a superpower, and it doesn't work like
Got you.
They both go hand in hand.
I got you. Funny thing you say that, because we just had Jonathan Banks, the trainer of Triple G, on, and he said that, you know, he likes the supplements, but that he was expecting more of a training camp from them. And they didn't have that. But the thing is, I used to see you train with Basil and all them, so I think that's what they got to do. They probably got to connect them with Mike Basil, and you know.
Yeah, they got to get with Basil, another great coach named Remy Korchimny. He's a track coach. Like, we learned a lot with that. Like, I think one of my most explosive fights was John Thompson, and I worked with Coach Remy for about 3 weeks. And, you know, like, I put John Thompson down twice. Everybody said, well, Willie Monroe doesn't have power. I put him down twice. You know what I mean? Like, put him down with a jab. And I think it's from the explosive type of training that we did with Remy Korchimny. But a lot of guys don't want to, like, really get down and do that type of hard work and different type of training. They don't want to adapt to that, but they want to wear the patches and take the supplements, and they think that's going to make them better, and it doesn't.
All right. Next one from Carlito in the UK says, is Deontay Wilder the hardest hitting American heavyweight ever, given the lack of top opponents on his resume?
I don't know. I haven't been hit by him or any other heavyweight. But, I mean, when you look at his knockout percentage and his knockout ratio, yeah. And a lot of people would, you know, not like to compare him to Mike Tyson, but they were off. It was two totally different times. They were fighting two different calibers of opponents. Whether you agree that Deontay Wilder's caliber was higher or lower, I think he's the hardest hitting man right now. He's knocked out everybody he's fought, except for Tyson Fury.
All right. Next one is from Rue in the 504 that says, you've been out the ring since last year. What's planned for 2020?
No idea, actually.
Man, you better send a DM to Eddie Hearn, all right? Let me tell you that Andy Ruiz got that AJ fight by sending a DM. You know that, right?
A word?
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't know that.
Nah, he's DM Eddie. He DM Eddie on social media and said, Eddie, give me a try. And Eddie took him seriously. Now, here's another DM story. Timothy Moulton, 5-0 heavyweight. He DM AJ. AJ, I got the perfect style to help you with the Ruiz fight. I'm a chubby, short, pro heavyweight. And AJ answered him and flew him out. My man quit 2 jobs to be in camp with AJ. He was in Saudi. He was out there for like 2 months.
Where you driving again this?
Man, he had a Phantom in Saudi. They gave him a Phantom, bruh. They gave him a Phantom just because he was in the AJ camp in Saudi. But all I'm saying is, stop sitting on your hands, champ. This is 2020. This is the generation of the internet. It's powerful. And look, you've been out the ring, and people look. I'm not done. I'm not done with the questions for you. The public still wants you. So you have something to offer at the 160-pound division, and a couple of messages to the right people. You know, and like you said, you've learned. You don't got to go back to Audi, but you could definitely get a fight with Lou, at least on UFC Fight Pass, just to get the rust off. In the meantime, talking to Eddie in the background. But I'm just giving suggestions. We're gonna go back out to the people. We got John, who says, I think John is from upstate, from Verona. Willie, what's one of the best tips, advice you could give to your fellow southpaws?
Use your southpaw, your left-handedness to your advantage, because a lot of right-handed fighters, they don't see southpaws as much as we see right-handed fighters. So use it to your advantage by staying to the right, stay off their left foot, stay right off their left foot. It's a chess match. Maybe use your right hook to push them into your left hand. I ain't saying nothing else.
All right. Well, I mean, obviously, John is a novice, not amateur or anything like that. But we have another one from New Mexico, Rel, that says, you versus Jacobs. Emoji of a thumb up saying, make it happen. What's your thoughts on you in a possible Jacobs fight?
Jacobs is another friend of mine from the amateur. Real good friends with homies. I'm pretty sure if the money was right, and not to say that they got to pay me 10 million. I mean, I know I haven't been in the ring in a while, but if the money was right between two friends enough to say, I know we friends, but we got to feed our families. Cool, but if not, I wouldn't. If I fight him, it's not a fight I would turn down. If it was something we were offered and the money was right. But if I don't fight him, I won't be disappointed with my career if I didn't get in the ring with Jacobs either, because he's a cool guy and he's a friend of mine.
Cool. Next one is from Dominic in Seattle that says, who's your top 5 heavyweights till this day? To this day, mine's is Deontay Wilder, the Black Batman.
He said top 5?
Yeah, your top 5 heavyweights.
Okay, I thought you were about to give me top 5, and that's you just said 1.
Nah, because that's his question.
Okay,
He said, I didn't say mine. I'm reading his question. He's telling you, who's your top 5 heavyweights to this day? 100 emoji with 2 bombs on it. He says, mine's is Deontay Wilder, the Black Batman. So he's saying that, not me. I ain't calling Deontay no Black Batman. That's him.
My bad, Nuts. I got if you want to go 5, I got Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. I can't even go 5. Those are my top ones right there.
So that's the order, or that's just your top?
That's my order. Yeah, you know who else I like though? That kid, F.A. and Jagba.
Yeah.
The Nigerian kid. Yeah, he fought on the undercard when I fought.
He just got put down in his last fight. You ain't see that because you said you've been staying away. I mean, not to say that he ain't look good, because he suffered that early adversity, got up off the canvas, and I think got the stoppage himself.
Right. Even more of a reason to put him in the top 5, man. Like he can punch, man. He's a big kid, and he's very. He's trained by Ronnie Shields, so he has a very, he's very set with his basics. You know what I mean? He believes in his basics. He's not very. He's a well-rounded fighter. He's becoming a well-rounded fighter. I think he's going to be a force at heavyweight.
All right, we got last one from Christian the Magician. It says, it was nice to meet you at the TBV appreciation party in New York. I met you in person and couldn't believe the size difference between you and Peter Quillen, who was there and contended at middleweight. You seem like a small middleweight. Do you feel like if given the opportunity to fight for a title at 54, can you make the weight and would you do it? You kind of answered that with the Patrick Teixeira. Or do you feel you said what you said because you think Patrick wouldn't fight you? So if this is another 54-pound title shot, would you take it?
Yeah, you know what? If I was given the right amount of time, and I just moved to Florida, so I'm no longer in New York. I moved to Florida, and this heat down here will allow you.
What part of Florida you moved to? Yo, I'm dying to move there. My freaking girl, man, she got too good of a job. She don't want to leave. I'm dying to go down there. What part you in?
We in Tampa.
Nice. How you liking it other than the heat? Sounds like you ain't liking the heat, man. That's what I'm running to. I want to get out this cold.
So I'm loving it. I'm loving the heat, man.
Okay.
I'm loving the heat. No snow, green Christmas.
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? It's I mean
More
I can get up and
space,
go
too.
running every day. I don't have to get on lifters. You know what I mean? Yep.
Cause you're coming from Providence. I mean, Providence is not as cluttered as New York, and the Bronx and all that. But
No, I'm from upstate.
Oh, okay.
I'm from upstate. Yeah.
I
So we
know
got away from that snow, man.
Yeah, man. I'm happy for you, man. Bless. But that was the last question, man. We want to thank you, obviously, for your time. We want to get you back on as soon as you send them couple of guys. Salita getting that Showtime money. DeBella getting that UFC. I'm just updating you because you said you ain't been watching boxing. So Salita got a contract with Showtime. He could get you on there on a one fight. You got Luda could get you some fights on UFC Fight Pass. Obviously, DAZN. With Eddie Hearn or Golden Boy, they both working over there.
So talk to David McWaters too.
Yeah. David McWaters is actually the new Al Heyman in my opinion, man. So hit him up and tell him I told you. But he got Teofimo Lopez, he got Sonny Canto, he got Stephen Big Shot Shaw. Oh man, damn, who else he got? He got a lot. Pacheco. Diego Pacheco. Who else? He just came out of nowhere. I mean, not really out of nowhere, but he definitely packing a huge managerial stable. But again, Willie Monroe, appreciate you as always. Shout out to Christian for reminding me that you was at the TBV Appreciation Night because you were true G, man. We appreciate you so much, man. Wish you nothing but the best. Want you back in action 2020. I'm telling you, send them DMs. It's going to work.
All right, man. Yo, thanks a lot, man. Thank you guys for having me on, bro.
All right, brother. Take it easy. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Willie Monroe Jr., man. Wish him nothing but the best. I really hope that, he can make something happen. 160, definitely some fights out there. Look, him and Andre would be a good fight, but, Andre needs a name, right? So that would be a good fight if he can get it. Jaime Munguia, he needs the name. That would be a great fight for Monroe if he can get it. He talked about 68. Didn't he already face Billy Joe? Yes, because the whole punching in the dick in the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe not Billy Joe just yet, or maybe so on American soil and use that as the storyline, they treated me unfair in the UK, But yeah, man, I want to thank Willie Monroe. I want to thank Jonathan Banks. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. We're going to go hyperdrive, but we're going to get to these callers. Final thoughts. I believe that AJ does have the connections to make a good enough offer to shake things up. And credit to Jonathan Banks for showing us that Andy Ruiz, even in contract, shook things up. And sometimes you got to gamble. And I know a man that likes to gamble on himself. He likes to say, I bet on myself. And I would believe that he would gamble in his contract because he's betting on himself and understanding that being undisputed would be bigger and that everybody would understand. And, Fury would just get that rematch. But, yeah, I think Deontay Wilder would see a massive offer and say, yeah, let's see what we can do. I got Al in my corner. I got Shelly. Those are the same or half of the same team that Ruiz had when he shook shit up.
There's only one Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, man. Big ups to Jonathan Banks for coming on, and big ups for Willie Monroe coming on, and prayers and blessings to his family again. Yeah, man. If AJ serious about it, man, we'll see how it plays out. And we'll see if Shelly, Al, and Deontay, check his temperature or not.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gents, real drive-by, unfortunately. But I hope you enjoyed the interviews. Don't forget, we got Robert Garcia today at 8 p.m. And, look, it was supposed to be Steven Espinoza. Hopefully they just slide in on some sneaky stuff, but they haven't hit us back. Them execs, they running, man. Shout out to Joe McCroskey not running, coming through. Frank Warren, Frank Smith, all them good guys. Even though those are not execs, those guys are promoters, but not Joe. Joe's exec for DAZN. That being said, let's get out here to these callers and get this thing started. Yeah.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
All right, we're going out to Mastermind NO.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from...
Shout out to TBV. The picture, man. That's how we started the interview. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to y'all, bro, for hustling, getting up these interviews and getting us on insight with going on.
NO, we're going to try you back, man. You're coming around the mountains as you come. And right now, it is bad service, but we will double back. CYP, triple ring. Consistency is key.
See, grown man truth is something the UK got to deal with. No matter how many fabricated ass Wilder lies they tell, it will never equal to that real shit. Let's be real, bitch. That's how we get down. Now, everybody with this 85, stop the 85. If you add up 85 plus what they made on Sky, that makes that $100 million fight. But nobody's reported it as a $100 million fight. ESPN said it was $40 million site fee. Quit giving these motherfuckers all these tips and hints to make them feel good about waking up in the morning. Since y'all, and hey, Coyote, or KO, or T, whoever you did, I like that you asked that Wilder question. You following my lead. So this is what I want you to do. Walk to a cliff.
And jump off. But I do like it too. You finally made someone mad enough to come and ask a question. That's what they got to do. Stop hating on you for doing you know what you doing. You at least asking. But I would, like I told you before, you started with the super consistency, because I kind of said that. I said, CYP, at least come back and ask the same legend question. Now he ain't stopped. But, you know, every now and then you should mix it up. Throw like AJ said, throw a curveball. Throw a curveball, man.
Motherfucker murder, mayhem, last words of the stainless. Told you I would kill you, squeeze after I aim it. If you're talking money, then you're speaking my language. Or shut the fuck up in grown folks' conversation.
Yo, TBV, what's good?
Shit.
Man, y'all already know, man. Happy Tuesday to y'all. I'm on my drive on my way to work, man. So I always say, please make sure you push that thumbs up. Share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. This is TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, that's why you get to ask no questions, because you stupid. And shout out to El Camino. Peace.
Stainless, as always. Thank you. We got Boomerang in the Nolia.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from terrorists.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing. What you want to bet on?
You bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
Oh, shit. That's his brother. JT. Oh, no, that is J-Mac. Go ahead.
No, I'm back. Hey, I got a call. Y'all get me?
Yes.
I got a call right as soon as I came in. I want to address great interviews this morning. Far as the AJ Smoke, I don't believe it. I think they're consistent with putting out bullshit. I'm not optimistic like you being us with it. I think it's just a way to say that they offer the fight or they're trying to make the fight and finish, pretty much going about negotiations the way they've been going about it, looking for little loopholes, the reason why they want to say they want the fight.
Cut it.
We got Ringer Killer.
Yo, what's up, guys? What's up? I just hopped on when you guys were talking to Willie Monroe, and you asked him about if Deontay is the hardest puncher. He really seemed not receptive to that question. But of course, when you have a minus 40% knockout ratio, you won't appreciate a puncher like Deontay. So Shout out to Willie. Keep punching, Willie. And shout out to TBV. And that's all I got.
All right. I mean, I think you interpreted that wrong because he definitely put Deontay Wilder as his number one heavyweight in that order. He put Wilder, Fury, AJ. So he's definitely a Wilder fan. But we got Ringer in Chicago. Steve.
Yeah, hey, good morning. Man, you guys do your best to keep AJ relevant. You know, we got the two best heavyweights getting ready to fight. And if I'm Wilder and I beat Fury, no, I want 60. It's 60-40 for me. AJ's overpaid. Why do you think Eddie's running to the Middle East to get their money? He can't pay him. He can't sustain paying AJ like that. AJ ain't worth that, man. You lost to Ruiz, brother, and then you ran from him in the second fight to get a victory. No, if I'm Wild,
cut it. Bro, Steve, I don't even know how that makes sense that AJ's overpaid. He's the highest paid. He keeps setting records for being paid. Like, they can't sustain it. They keep going up. The purses just keep going up. And when they start going down, fill me in. We got Ringer in the UK.
Sing along if you know the words. Come on.
Yo, what's going on, people?
What up? Drive by, champ. Make it snappy, pappy.
Nah, it's alright, it's cool. All I'm gonna say is now we've got another American who's confirmed that Wilder was dropped in sparring. And now we know why Dylan White wants to fight him, because he was there, he witnessed it. This is why he knows Wilder is chinning. It takes the right puncher to drop him. And listen, I'm predicting Wilder to lose within the next 1 or 2 years. He's going to be dropped hard. He's going to be exposed.
Hey, champ, man, do us a favor. Get out that hallway. Secondly, hey. He got dropped. Cool. Let's make the fight. I want to see what Dillian White can do. That's what I care about. What can Dillian White do? We going out to Boomerang in Seattle.
Mr. PBC, baby. Boxingvoice.com.
I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife. Cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
What's good with y'all? But that old news though, man, about that Deontay Wilder shit. I mean, AJ got knocked out like 20 times, so I don't know. When it comes to AJ and that curveball, a curveball's a curveball, bro. I mean, I heard you Ness say, "Oh, a curveball might be something different." No, a curveball is a curveball, bro. That means you throw it and you ain't trying to have the motherfucker hit it.
Exactly, man. My nigga.
That's the curveball. Nigga, like, what the fuck you think, Nick? I mean, I forgot. You Dominican. You should know that shit. Come on, man. You know how to play baseball? Cut
it. Going out to Ringer in Canada.
Popping all this champagne, popping all this rosé, getting money like Jose, Chenko, Norway. Shorty wants that foreplay. I'm like, no way. Gotta rock it like Coldplay, killing it. OJ, getting cheese like Green Bay. Call me Aaron Rodgers. Hopped out that Dodger, dodging them coppers. My boy got them choppers.
Yo, what a way to start the morning with my intro there. This is the champ, soon to be two-time unified. You know what? Just really quickly, Willie Monroe, man, seems like a really nice guy. I know, met him in person. He's a gem of a person, and I hope he, his family things work out for him. As for Jonathan Banks, man, you know what? I think it's a mistake that Triple G switched over to him. He went from being life and death with Canelo to being life and death with Chenko, and not a good fit, man. And Jonathan Banks, man, cynical man. Laughing at Seth Mitchell. Seth Mitchell beat him, man. in the rematch. Ness, come on. How you gonna set up your guests like that, man?
What you mean?
He
He beat him in the first time though. He upset Seth Mitchell.
Yeah, but then the
He's
guy
still
came back.
Andy.
Came back and solved him.
He's still Andy. He upset the A side. You can't take that from him.
How could he upset? Seth Mitchell was a football player, man.
But he was the A side. Hold on. He was the A side. I watched this whole come up. You know, he was a big ticket seller in the DMV area, and he was featured on HBO heavily. Stop it.
Yeah, but he lost to Areola. Like, he wasn't. I'm talking Mitchell, right? Regardless, the fact is, the man should have clarified that, man. You don't forget your losses, man. As the losers know. I don't know because I don't got any. That's all I got. Peace.
Coach Mitty, UK, talk to me.
I said that. Where the A side? Where the A side?
Coach Mitty, going once. Coach Mitty going twice. NO, doubling back, Chant Mastermind. See if you're in a better area.
Everybody hit the thumbs up. I'm gone. You heard me?
I heard you. Thank you for calling in. Who we got? Looking like Florida Zone.
El gran campeón puertorriqueño, this is Davis, Chico Trinidad.
You got any excuses tonight, Roy? Let's not ask questions like that. Let's touch gloves and go to work. Tonight, Roy. Let's go to work.
Yo, what up, Mike? What up, Naz? Good morning, TBV. Good interviews, man. Not too much to say. I was just tuning in, enjoying the show, man. So appreciate y'all as always, man.
King, man, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Ringer in New Mexico. Rail, talk to us.
The number one podcast in the world. Shout out to Monroe Jr. for joining us this morning. Shout out to Coach Jonathan Banks. It was a fire show. Appreciate it. To all the Border War 7, we out here working. I hope y'all working. I'm working. That's my call.
Rail in New Mexico, thanks for calling in. If you want to catch Rail make his heavyweight debut, 20-year-old heavyweight coming for glory, taking on Morocco Joe. I think Morocco is about 27-31. It's going to be a big heavyweight attraction. Check it out on Border Wars right here on youtube.com/Thaboxingvoice for more details. Looks like we're going to Trey. You available?
I am.
We hear
you. Hey, King, change that intro. That's my call.
Damn, why? I love Keem's intro. What is that? What is it? That Roy Jones is like people's, that's their guy he can't lose? I mean, I don't know. They didn't want to be reminded that Tarver did that. I watched that fight live, too. Pretty good. I was stalling for this new one. Keem out here trying to give Dollar DiBiase some rec.
So interesting when you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, that comment, come on. That was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. You know, we're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it? I'm killing this mother.
Why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yeah, what's up, yo? What's up? Hey, shout out to my king with that intro for me. Yeah, I think we gotta take some of that bass out that window. But yeah, I heard the interview with Willie Monroe. I hope he get back in the mix of the thing. He could get back in and fight a good few more fights. Shout out to DVB. That's all I got on it.
All right. Thank you for calling in, JT. We got here we go. We got another one in the building.
Riding in the
form with a form. Forgianos on my feet and the paint look wet. Every corner that we been, there's another broke neck. Rolling through the city, swag game on full flex. I know you see.
What's good? What's good, man?
Intrigued the Incredible. What up? Damn, I had to lower that at first. Hella bass in the beginning. We're going to
Oh,
fade
yeah,
into that.
yeah. Appreciate it though. Yeah, man. Good show, man. I just want to know why everybody worry about it if Wilder got knocked out in sparring. I mean, what that even mean? It don't even matter. If I was from the UK, I'd be worried about my heavyweight weight champ streaming live and girl shorts playing ping pong. That's what I'd be worried about. But that's my call, man. Keep doing y'all thing.
Yo, that's crazy.
I go, man. Everybody want a story.
Looks like we got more callers. Let me see. It's man, we got hella people. Okay, looks like Ashen? I don't know. Ashen Folo? Ashin Folo? Yes.
Hello.
Ashihish? How you pronounce your name, champ?
Ashi.
Oh, that okay. That was
Yeah.
simple. Where you calling from?
Yeah, first time caller TBV.
Okay. Let me get to this then. Let's see if we get this right.
So was Johnny Nelson right? Was it the body shot that dropped?
Oh shit! I walked over all on that, man. I'm sorry. We was trying to get you to introduce yourself. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from London.
Oh, London. All right. Well, take it away, champ.
Yeah. So was Johnny Nelson right? That was it the body shot that dropped Deontay Wilder? Oh.
Well, we didn't ask Jonathan Banks that, but he did confirm that Wilder was dropped in sparring.
Oh. And it's in bomb squad, bro.
Excuse me?
And how can I join? How can I join the Border Wars from London?
Well, we're not in London just yet, man. We're hoping to get as big enough to cross over to London. You hear that, Mitty? So, yeah, man, once we do, you will be notified, man. But thank you for calling in. We are on Drive-By. And we're going to get to one of our alumni callers in California.
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Yo, good morning, TBV family. What's up?
What it
Yo.
do?
Hey, I just want to say, man, great interviews, man. Great interviews. Shout out to Willie Monroe, man. I think he came to, two appreciation nights, man, to hang out with the fam. So I just want to say shout out to him. Hope he bounced back and come back this year. And peace, family. That's all I got. Hit those thumbs up.
Right. Well, Joe, thank you for calling in. We're going out to Anthony in Charlotte. Talk to us. North Carolina.
What's up, Nick? Mike? What's going on?
What up?
That bullshit that Joshua talking, I don't believe in none of it. But Wilder, I think he better get a contract so that way if Fury ever beat him, I can guarantee you Fury gonna retire and won't give him a rematch. So he better go ahead and make sure he knock this dude out. That's my call.
Well, all right. Thank you for calling in. We're going out to Stunner, New Jersey.
What up, TBV? It's been a little minute.
What up, champ?
All right. What up? All right. Let me just put this out here, man. AJ's trying to make this fight, trying to make it seem like he wants to fight. Let me just remind y'all. Eddie Hearn has Dylan White in play to possibly beat Wilder, right? No rematch. It's not going to happen, though. But also, in the WBA rankings, and that mandatory hasn't been ordered yet, if they order an eliminator, it's going to be Konecki versus Luis Ortiz. So, I could see why AJ might want to make his fight sooner, because I damn sure know he don't want that Luis Ortiz or Konecki smoke, let alone if it goes to purse bid and we bring his ass back to America. We already know what's up. So,
All right, we're going to Civilian 11.
Drive by.
Man, I just want to say that, it just really bothers me that Anthony Joshua was the only one putting offers out. Why Wilder or why Fury can't put offers out? That's just my biggest deal, but, it is what it is.
All right, champ. Thanks for calling in. Looks like we got JT in Miami. Talk to me.
Yellow. Come with the drive-by.
What up?
What's happening? Oh, hey, Ness. I want to say something real quick. I'm going to be for the fight. You got anyone covering it for you? I'm taking my shot like these boxers. You got any media doing down here?
Hit me up on IG, champ. Hit me up on IG.
For real. I went to college radio. I did the whole thing. Let me know. Anyways, great show. Definitely going to hit you up with that. Well, thanks for the show.
All right, brother. Yeah, man. Anybody in the LA, California area, Las Vegas, DMV area, Philadelphia, you want to cover for TBV, you want to go to the fight, you want to do some interviews and all that stuff, hit me up on IG, man. We always willing to give somebody a shot. As you can see, Fight Hype has my whole roster. Sean Zattel, Ron Goodall, they all over there, man. So you can use us as a stepping stone, baby. It's all good in my eyes, man. We going out to Coach Mitty. What up? Okay, Coach Mitty dropped off. Looks like we going to Boomerang J Mac.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Just dropping off where I don't believe AJ. They consistent with putting out here these false these narratives saying they want to make fights, and it's always convenient how and when they're trying to sit up there and try to did it, because they did it the last time with Tyson Fury. Far as this, we're talking about who got knocked down. The only reason why we was talking about AJ getting knocked down because it was before his fight before Andy Ruiz, and they had excuses on why he had panic attacks coming out the locker room. Why are we talking about Wilder and what happened probably about 15 to 20?
That's why, champ. They mad, so they want to bring up spawn partner rumors and stuff too. CYP.
Oh man, you know what's funny is that I got them to go from knocked out and twitching to knocked down, and they want to take a victory any way they can get it. Well, I told you, he was knocked down. I told you, motherfucking ugly ass motherfucking Nigerians probably dancing like a motherfucker. Y'all need to get real, man. Y'all need to grow the fuck up. And if y'all got a problem with what I said, meet me on the after show. I'll be there. CYP out.
NO, Boomerang.
How my audio sound, Ness?
You better than before.
Alright, look, man, good interviews, even though I missed all the motherfuckers. It did, but I like what y'all doing, bro. Keep doing what y'all doing. Everybody support this show. You know what I'm saying?
And
BV, I'm out.
All right. James Tennyson signs with Matchroom Boxing, as if that wasn't a surprise. Or was Tennyson with Frank Warren, Mike?
I thought shit last time I checked. I thought he was with Eddie James Tennyson.
Yeah, he just signed with him. I guess he's re-signing then.
Maybe re-up.
135 pounder. Yep. All right, so we got.
Maybe he was with Cyclone. I don't know. If I don't fucking know.
We got Stone Bone Boxing. Talk to me.
Oh, what up? Hey, man, I agree with J-Mac, man. These dudes reaching 12, 13 years back in sparring, talking about he got knocked down. But the problem is, I can reach back 6 months in the ring when your guy got knocked out in the ring, not in sparring, man. Everybody know that a lot of shit happened in sparring. Mayweather got black eyes in sparring, and like niggas, shit happened in sparring. We talking about what happened in the ring. And to me, it's always this time where you about a month out from a Wilder fight.
I don't even know why they care. Like both sides, like it's like they said, like everybody's like Stone Bone, and I think J Mac. Yo, AJ lost the fight. He got knocked out in the fight. Y'all still talking about Wilder getting knocked out in Spawn. Your man lost. Talk about Wilder losing. You know, not Spawn. Because at this point, you know, we was talking about Spawn because the record was perfect. So that was the imperfection, the rumors. But he's already imperfect. So it's like, I don't even know why y'all reaching. It's so crazy, but I love it. I still love it. That banter. Ruin the 504, what it do? Rule gotta unmute. 504.
I'm just listening.
All right. Looks like we got Huang in the BX.
You.
What up, Juan?
Somebody said I'm muted. Think your man just got unmuted or whatever. You want to go back to him or?
Nah, you good.
Nah, oh, I ain't no doubt. Yeah, I just wanted to say I don't understand why people is even trying to play Wilder. Because they know after that Ruiz fight, all he has to do is throw a punch. Even if it don't land on homeboy, that shit gonna knock him out. Don't even have to land as hard as it landed on fucking, what's his nigga's name? Fucking Ortiz and shit. It just bitch spats him and niggas down and is out. I go by second round KO. It's my call. Be safe, fellas.
Juan, thanks for calling in. Dominic Boomerang. Dominic, all right. Hit one if you want your boomerang, champ. You always saying I ain't giving it to you. We going out to Big Nick in the UK.
Give a quick shout out to the show, man. Big up you and Mike, innit? Yeah, come on, bro. It's happening. Shit, the Avengers are assembling, bro. They're coming down on your champ, and your champ don't want it. Your champ don't want it.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Big Nick. For tomorrow, remember we got Robert Garcia, the trainer, world-renowned trainer, at 8 p.m. tonight, and we'll have Junior Fa tomorrow at 10 a.m. Junior Fa, the heavyweight, Sana Ludabella, tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we'll still be cooking up some more stuff to fill in that early morning slot. Dom, Boomerang.
And yeah, those were good calls today, man. Respect to TBV, and I can't wait to hear more and more from different callers and different people coming in to the show. And TBV for life.
Dom, and thanks for calling in. Looks like we have a new caller, WPW 12. WPW 12. If you've never called in, we're talking to you. If you just created a new Skype, we're talking to you. If you're moving around, we're talking to you. Going once, twice. Davidian, talk to us.
Hey, what's going on, Ness? I just wanted to say great show, great interviews. Yeah, that's my call. Y'all keep doing what y'all do. Peace.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. We're going out to CYP with the triple ring.
I said that. Where the ace at?
There was a fight.
Where the ace at?
There was a fight with there was a fight with my man Alvarez and a man named Cotto, but not the Cotto you think of. It's Jose Cotto. First round. Canelo Denver got his ass whooped. Denver got knocked out the ring. Nobody talks about that because he was young. He came back and won. Black fighters don't mention that bullshit. White fighters don't mention that bullshit. Fan bases don't mention it because we understand that's what fucking happens when you're on your way up, when you learn it. And lastly, oh, Anthony Joshua, we love you, Anthony Joshua. Sexy Anthony Joshua. Drop it, Anthony Joshua. That's y'all real song. I know how y'all really sing that shit for him. CYP out.
Yo, Ness GTO, Instagram and Twitter. We got a super chat coming from Clifford Fetus. When Wilder wanted AJ guaranteed for fight it was crickets, but now they want to make fights while Wilder preparing for a fight. Oh yeah, I get you. When Wilder was saying, yo, just put Dillian White in a contract and guarantee me AJ and I'll fight him, they ain't want to do that. They're like, nah, we gotta take care of this fight first. I hear you, man. But that's GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Catch us on the next one. That's gonna be 8 p.m. guaranteed today. We're gonna have Robert Garcia. Remember, he's the trainer of Virgil Ortiz, trainer of Mikey Garcia, who's gonna be fighting Jesse Vargas. Just made that $7 million. A lot to talk about there. Trainer of Carlos Adames, who just suffered his first loss to Patrick Teixeira, trainer of Josecito Lopez that gave Keith Thurman a run for his money. J-Mac, I didn't give you a boomer? I gave J-Mac a boomer, right? Yeah. Okay, they're just doing their own thing back there, I think. Let me unmute that. So yeah, I don't know. I got caught up. I know I'm missing a few fighters that he has, but we'll find that out. Yeah, Mike, take it away.
Follow me on IG at Gross1911, on Twitter at Gross2312, and big ups to Jonathan Banks for coming on the show, and also big ups to William Monroe coming on the show. And like I said earlier, blessings and prayers out to the Monroe family. You can also follow me on YouTube at Mike on Sports. Peace out.
Yes, sir.